The Southern Baptist Convention earlier this week, their leaders were saying that we are going to defy whatever the court rules when it comes to gay marriage. One of the leaders suggested civil disobedience. And when you read your letter, it certainly sounds like civil disobedience may be down the road if the court rules in favor of gay marriage.
Well, I think for a lot of believers, the question comes, do we have civil disobedience or do we have biblical disobedience? And for many of us, civil disobedience, when we believe that the civil government has acted outside of nature and nature's God, outside of the bounds of the law, outside of the bounds of the Constitution, we believe that it's the right and moral thing to do. Now, yes, I understand that's a very controversial thing to say. But Todd, what if no one had acted in disobedience to the Dred Scott decision of 1857? What if the entire country had capitulated to judicial tyranny, and we just said that because the Supreme Court in 1857 said that a black person wasn't fully human, suppose we had accepted that. Suppose Abraham Lincoln, our president, had accepted that. Would that have been the right course of action? And I don't know of anyone. I mean, seriously, I personally don't know of anyone who believes that the Supreme Court made the right decision in Dred Scott.
And yet, Governor, I want to jump in here, yet the Country Club Republicans and many conservatives in the media are taking issue with you and other Republicans who agree with you, those who support traditional marriage.
Well, they do, because the donor class doesn't want to deal with this. Let me explain. There is a driving force within the Republican Party that wishes that these issues would just disappear so they can get back to talking about tax cuts and trade agreements that will make some investors rich at the expense of some people who are losing their jobs all over this country. But at some point, we have to stand on principle. If we're not going to follow our Constitution, maybe we should loan it to some developing country so that they could try it out if we're not going to use it anymore. But I believe that a person, not only those elected to public office, but all of us as citizens are required to live as people whose common bond is not our feelings, it's not what we think, it's not what's popular, it's not what's culturally acceptable, it's not what's politically correct, it's what is in the law. And the law is not created by the Supreme Court. They are the Supreme Court, I grant you that, but they're not the supreme being. And ultimately, they can interpret a law, but they can't make one. And there is nothing in the Constitution that gives the Supreme Court the authority to redefine the historical definition of marriage, which has been in previous Supreme Court cases affirmed as one man and one woman.